We have just added probably the most polarizing vehicle built in the last 20 years to the 512 Garage channel. Love it or hate it, it's here to stay, and you stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this one. What's up, everybody? This is Scott with 512 Garage, and I'm back with another video. So hear me out on this one before you decide to click off or unsubscribe to the channel. This is still a Corvette channel. This is still a performance car channel devoted to the GM line of awesomeness. We needed a larger vehicle to use at events, to carry the big easy up, the tent, all of our boxes, all of the merch. My wife's Honda Pilot just wasn't cutting it. We needed something a little more on brand, So we started looking at some interesting on-brand vehicles that were sort of the GM variety. Guess I'll just turn around and you can take a look at what is now sitting in the 512 Garage driveway. You guys ready? Check this thing out. That's right, you guys, we bought a Hummer. We bought an H2. You ever get that feeling like when you pull up to look at a car, you just sort of go, how do I not buy this thing? You guys, I was blown away at the condition of this car. It is so clean. It is amazing how well this car has been taken care of. Now, I bought it off of a really nice couple, live about an hour away from me. They've had several of these H2s in the past. In fact, I think they still have a couple more. It was garaged and really well taken care of by someone who understands these vehicles. And so I felt really good about the purchase. And honestly, you guys, it was my wife's idea. Yeah, we'll talk about that on the drive. All right, you guys, we're getting ready to start up the Hummer here. And there we go. Now, if you got good ears, you can probably hear there's a little exhaust leak on the passenger side exhaust manifold. Very typical for the 6-liter V8s. Not a big deal. We'll get that fixed up. But mechanically, that's really the only thing that it needs. Now, I did say this was my wife's idea, and I do have to thank her for that, because we were looking at Tahoes and Suburbans and in a similar price range, and we just couldn't find anything we really liked. So she said, isn't there another GM product that we could use on the channel that has enough room to bring all of our stuff to live events and sort of represent the brand? And then she said, well, what about a Hummer? And I thought she was crazy. I said, sure. So we started looking at Hummers online, and we came across this one, and it was somewhat local, so we decided to go for it. Now, the owner put these 22-inch wheels on it and tires, 35-inch tires. A Hummer from the factory comes with 35-inch tires, and so there's plenty of room in this thing to fit, obviously, larger tires as well. So we've got some things planned for this thing, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about that right now. What we're going to do is head to the auto parts store so we can grab some cleaner, because we need to detail that engine bay up a little bit better, and we need to give this thing a good interior cleaning and detail on the outside. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. I'm really interested to know, what do you think about the Hummer H2? Is it as polarizing now as it was when they first came out? You know, this was like the example of American excess when this vehicle first came out, and it was loved or hated. And you know, it's been 17 years since this vehicle came out now, and I sort of think the way people feel about the H2 has sort of changed a little bit. so far, really great reactions from anybody we came in contact with in the last 24 hours with this vehicle. So has the stigma gone away? I'm really interested to know what you guys think about the Hummer H2. I think it's a perfect vehicle to sort of represent the brand. GM drivetrain, plenty of storage once we get that spare tire out of the back, and I'll show you that when we get back to the house. But the spare tire actually rides inside the car with you, and there is a third row back there with one seat. So these early Hummers had a jump seat essentially option for the third row and stored the spare tire next to it. So there's not a lot of room back there unless you get that seat and you get that tire out. I can tell you, driving a Hummer H2 is quite the experience. It actually drives really well. If you've ever driven anything with mud terrain tires on it or all-terrain tires, you know they've got a little hum to them. This vehicle feels just as wide as it looks when you're driving it. So that's something you definitely have to get used to. It's not a Corvette. It definitely doesn't handle like a Corvette. All right, guys, I got some interior cleaner, some engine degreaser, and some various brushes. Now we can head home and start getting this thing a little cleaner. All right, guys, so we just got back, and I want to show you around real quickly the H2. And I'm not going to do like a full review or anything for you guys, but I just want to introduce the new vehicle to you and show you exactly what these H2s look like if you've never seen them. You know, they were produced from 03 to 09, and I think there's probably about 150,000 units were produced at the American General plant right alongside those H1s. So a lot of the components that make up the H2 are in fact GM components, but it was manufactured in the same facility as the H1s. And what you have on this vehicle is a GM heavy duty 2500 front end, and you have basically the back of a Tahoe, and then a custom center section or custom frame to kind of pull everything together, and obviously the body work as well. So this is the exterior. It's white. It's got that stormtrooper look. It's got these Rockstar wheels right here. They came on the vehicle again with those 22 or with those 35-inch tires. So let's take a look on the inside of this Hummer here, and you can see that it's not in too bad shape for a 17-year-old vehicle with 127,000 miles. You know, there's little stuff here and there, like some wear and tear on the radio dial, but other than that, I mean, it's going to clean up really well once we start scrubbing this thing. We'll take a look at the back seats here. Super comfortable. I actually rode around in the back seat and when we were test driving it, and I gotta say, I think the back seats are even more comfortable than the front seats. It's got this nice armrest here with some cup holders and some storage. And guys, check it out. It has a third row. Well, it has a seat in the back, one seat. Now, the later models had a full third row. The early models, you could option out with a seat. And of course, there's that spare tire. We're gonna get that thing out of here, and I guess we're gonna store it in the garage because, well, it kind of eats up a lot of space. Plenty of storage back here. I honestly think that this would not be a bad seat for somebody going on a long trip. It's got a moonroof up top here, you can see, and here's a nice shot of the gauges and also the center console and that big Tonka truck shifter. It's pretty cool, you guys. And then let's just hop around back. I'll show you the inside back here. And you can see that a lot of the storage space is getting taken up by this seat here, which we can fold down and get out of the vehicle, as well as this spare tire here that is bolted to the frame of the car. So we're gonna get that stuff out. That way we can also do a really good cleaning of the carpets. Now let's show you under the hood. So if you've never popped the hood on an H2, it does have a hood release, just like that. And we have to come over to both sides, and there's this latch here. And of course there's a latch on the other side, just like that. And now the hood will open by grabbing these convenient handles. I told you guys, flips up, and it's dirty. I'm gonna warn you, but we're gonna clean it. We're gonna clean it. So there you go. If you're familiar with GM trucks, you'd probably be familiar with this 6-liter here. Like I said, it's pretty dirty, but we're gonna get some degreaser on all of this, and then we're gonna spray it down. And we're gonna make the under hood of this vehicle look just as good as the rest of the vehicle. All right guys, I finally finished up under the hood, and wait till you see this. What do you think, you guys? Looks a heck of a lot better, doesn't it? Check it out from this side. Now, it's not perfect. Some of you detailers out there might look at that and say, oh my gosh, you missed all this and you missed that. I think I'm gonna take another day and just focus on the engine bay itself. Today's sort of like, you know, wiping the car down. We just cleaned the interior. My wife gave me a hand. Actually, she did most of the interior work, but check this out, you guys. Look how much cleaner this is now. All right, we're gonna have to get some new floor mats here. No big deal, but the car was already super clean. Now it's like, I mean, super, super clean. Check it out. Yeah, it looks really good. We also took out that spare tire and the spare tire holder. That big tubular metal piece right there is what holds that spare tire in the back of the Hummer. So let's open up back here and you guys can see how much space is really here with the spare tire missing. We did put the seat back in just because, well, it's kind of cool to have a third row. So check it out back here. Super clean. Car was built in 2003 and it looks this nice. And I think this is the difference between buying one from an enthusiast and just, you know, buying one from a non-enthusiast. Someone who knows these vehicles, loves these vehicles, and takes care of them just like you and I take care of our Corvettes and all of our other cars. That's what this is. Sort of a special vehicle, and now it's in our hands, and we're going to continue to take really good care of this vehicle. So that'll do it for this video, you guys. Thanks for hanging in to the end here and meeting the new 512 Garage chase vehicle, right? The Hummer H2. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video or any of my other videos, you guys can always email me, scott@team512.com. And make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Tons of great Corvette content coming real soon, and let me know what you guys think of the H2 back here. Don't forget to leave me some comments. You guys know I love interacting with people who love cars, Hummers, trucks, and Corvettes just as much as I do. Till next time, see ya.